I'm here today to tell you a story about one of the saddest and funniest days of my life. I know you're probably asking how I managed that one. Well, I coordinate a tutoring program at Fresno State. It's one of the most rewarding jobs in the world. I get to work with excellent young people. I get to research learning, memory, critical thinking, stuff like that, stuff that I love. I also write a ton of letters of recommendation. That's something I didn't expect from the job. I'm glad we're in the age of computers and typing because my penmanship would not get the job done. This particular letter I was writing was for a physics tutor of mine, and it was for his dream job. If you're an astronaut, this was your trip to the moon. If you were a computer scientist, this was your shot at getting in at Google. He was going to get the opportunity to teach at his hometown middle school, teach physics nonetheless, something that he had been tutoring for years. I wrote him the letter. It was on short notice, and a couple days later, I wanted to take a copy of the letter to him. I sealed it up in an envelope. I walked over to him while he was tutoring. Actually, it wasn't because there were no students around then. I asked him if he had gotten any updates, and he said, yeah, I think I'm likely to get an interview. I said, oh, that's great. He said, no, it's not. So I asked, why would it not be great? And he said, because this is my first professional interview. I'm very nervous. I don't even know what to say. So we had a conversation about that, and I was giving him tips and tricks. And then I asked him the question, how do you feel your experience here has prepared you for that job? He thought for a minute, and he said, it hasn't. I was, maybe 5 seconds passed before the next words were exchanged, but for me it felt like a millennium. I was like, whoa, wait, what? What have I done wrong? I've trained you, I've observed you, I've molded you, and now you're melting in the sun. So he responded and said, because this is tutoring and that's teaching. And this is a physics tutor. And I've run into students like this all the time where they can't see how their current position at a restaurant or volunteering for an organization can be relevant to their future careers or to the next job that they want to get. Basically, my tutor couldn't see how a hammer could be used for more than just striking a nail in the wood. And so we had a conversation, and it all worked out. He got it after I explained some things to him, broke some things down. But this problem just ate at me. I wanted to solve this problem, at least in my small little world, with this tutoring program. And so I had the blessing of having a great intern at the time who was getting his master's in psychology. And I spoke to him about what I wanted to do. And so we redesigned our training, our upfront training, and we redesigned our tutor observation process. Now, these are two things that, while I was working my way through college, I did not have. I may have had one at a couple jobs, but never both in combination. And the one that I usually had didn't really give me the chance to apply skills. It mostly just told me what I should do, or more likely what I shouldn't do. So what we did was we revamped the online upfront training that we give tutors and the physical training to represent more scenarios, offer more images, make it more entertaining. The quiz questions that we would ask in this training to assess their knowledge of it, we would paint scenarios of things that have actually happened in the program and things that are likely to happen for them to respond to, for them to answer. And the catch was that they had to master the content. they had to master it. They had to master it before they could move on to the next step. And all the while, they were getting the chance to apply their skills in physical training as well as in the tutoring environment. The next step, though, was, okay, so we assessed that they can remember what we told them on a couple of PowerPoint slides and in some videos and reading articles, but how do we know that they're actually going to apply this in the real world, or more reasonable in this tutoring environment that they're going to be working in for the next couple of years? So we redesigned the observation process. We kind of flipped it. Before I would observe them, I would give them feedback, and then they would take a self-assessment. We kind of flipped that. They take the self-assessment first, and this time the items weren't Likert scale things where it was completely how they felt about what they do in tutoring, but we came up with actions that a tutor should or should not do to be effective. And with each one of those actions, it was kind of like a script almost of what should be going on. So we had our tutors take this self-assessment. The next step would be them picking 3 of those items to improve and map out a plan for how they would improve it. Then I would observe them, then I would give them feedback. We made a bold prediction when we did this. We said that, well, this new group of tutors that are actually going to experience this redesign training, they should score better on this self-assessment than our tutors that have been here for a couple of years. Very bold prediction to make. It was actually accurate. The newer tutors who had the redesign training were more likely to apply these actions that they should be applying from training in the tutoring environment. As of late, the returning tutors have adapted, they have learned, and their scores are better than the newer tutors that we have coming in now. So, I had that tutor who just could not see how physics tutoring would prepare him for a physics teaching position. And I was blessed enough to have an intern at the time that could help me develop these wonderful tools and help me develop this philosophy around how can I make this relevant for a student in terms of being effective at this job and making our program more effective, but also how can I prepare them for their future careers. And we all know what internships are. An internship is when a student goes into a work environment, learns from the work environment, gains something that they could take to their future careers. An externship is the idea that I want to present to you. It's nothing new, it's nothing cutting edge. Medical schools, nursing programs do it all the time. It's where the student contributes something to the small business or organization. Something like what my intern did for me. And what I hope is that our behavioral sciences, psychology, sociology, that they could be empowered to go out to places and get the experience of designing an assessment to create standards that will help students realize how important the experiences they gain now will be for their future. Thank you.